are coming to you live, right? Instagram Live. And today we're going to be joining Heather Burson. Wondering what's the weather like where you are. Like, oh my goodness, it's snowing. It is almost Mother's Day, and it is snowing. This is crazy. So give me just 1 second. We're going to join with Heather. I don't have my glasses on because I have this ring light. And if I put my glasses down, like, you won't be able to see anything but glare. Hi.
Hi.
Hi, Heather. How are you?
I'm doing great. I've never done Instagram Live before. I've done other live things, but this is fun.
Yeah, so Facebook used to have a go live with feature, and then they got rid of it.
Oh.
So now it's just Instagram Live, I guess. So
they're cool.
Yeah. Yeah, it is very cool. It's very exciting. I have the chance to talk to some really neat people, and I'm glad that you can join us. Actually, it's really great because I don't know if you saw, I shared it on my blog Facebook page today, and I shared it on Twitter. And there's this UK writer talking about how he has celiac disease, and that makes him a prisoner and he can't overcome. And I was like, wow. Like, and I think about your business. For those who don't know, this is Heather Burson. She owns Third Coast Bakery in Traverse City. All of her stuff is gluten-free and dairy-free. It's soy-free. I love that you have a disclaimer on your webpage about that it is Bob's Red Mill. So they're, take your own, obviously always take care of your own health. But I think about how many people can eat freer because of you, that feel not like a prisoner anymore. So it's been interesting to see on my Facebook page people that agree that they feel like they're a prisoner, and people say, no, like, I was a prisoner to my bathroom before. Like, I feel it's just interesting, the wide range of responses. I even had someone with type 1 diabetes say they'd rather just have type 1 and that celiac is harder. And I'm like, that's not a response I would have anticipated. But, and you even have sugar-free options at Third Coast as well. So, yeah, I guess I should probably stop talking and let you talk a little bit about your business. And I was telling people that what we talk about, because you do accommodate so many different dietary needs, that's kind of what we're going to talk a little bit about today. But I will let you explain who you are and the interesting story that caused you to be the bakery owner that you are.
Okay. Yeah, I'd love to share our story. And, I think that, maybe 20 years ago, when there wasn't a lot available and not much was known about celiac disease, I think it would be easy to feel
right.
prisoner of your own body in this diagnosis. But now, the very mission of Third Coast Bakery is to create a place of inclusion, where everybody is welcome at the table, that nobody has to be left out of the party, regardless of food allergies or dietary restrictions or autoimmune diseases like celiac disease. And to remove the stereotype that exists that, oh, it's just a fad. It's not just a fad. This is the real deal. And
right.
for people that have celiac disease, it's not a choice. You have to think about every bite you put in your mouth. You have to research your producers, research the suppliers, read the labels. It can be mentally exhausting. So, and I know firsthand what that's like because, oh, I'm sorry, let me turn my phone off. We have this fancy phone system and I'm still learning how to use it. So about 10 years ago, my husband was diagnosed with brain cancer. And we didn't know, first of all, at the time, that he would come out on the other side strong and healthy. He is great now. And I always like to start off by saying he's fine.
Right.
Yes. And that I cured him with cookies.
I'm all for that.
Right? But what I found is that the food that he could tolerate on a daily basis was constantly changing, especially based on his reactions to chemotherapy.
Right.
And, I took a look at how we were eating in our home, and the average American diet, full of hydrogenated fats and corn syrup and artificial flavorings and dyes. And I thought, there's got to be a better way. We're going through a health crisis. It's time to evaluate our own pantry and how we're cooking at home. And I took it on as my personal mission to change how there was no cookbook out there to tell me how to do it.
Right.
There's certainly no restaurant that made it simple for us if we wanted to go out and get a low-fat, sugar-free dessert, for example. To avoid those highly processed flours. It wasn't available. And I said, well, I'm not competitive at all.
Right, right.
Yeah. And I said, you know what? Fine. I know math. I know fractions. I know my way around a kitchen, and I will tackle this myself, and I'll come up with my own recipes. And I started experimenting in the kitchen and trying to create healthy versions of desserts.
Right.
And baked goods and different meal plans for our. And honestly, at the same time, I didn't realize it, but I was discovering my life's purpose. I've never felt more authentic as a person than when I'm baking, and baking in a way that fills a medical need for someone else who has been left out of the diet. Yeah. So that's where it started. And then friends heard that I was doing these crazy baking experiments and came to me, and it was Easter 2013. And I had two friends say, well, I need something for my, there we go. I need something for my diabetic father. And someone else said, well, I would love to have an Easter dessert for my celiac, Seventh-day Adventist, vegan mother-in-law. And I said, game on, let's do it.
Right.
How, but we're going to figure it out.
And those moments, I feel like Barney sends him like challenge accepted. Right.
Exactly. Yeah. Don't tell me I can't do this. I may not know how, but I'm going to figure it out. Yeah. And it started from there. And Third Coast Bakery was born out of that need. And, I also grew up with family members who have, and they have severe Crohn's disease, and I watched them continually left out of family meals and family gatherings and having to watch every bite they took, or they would suffer terrible digestive effects from that. And at the time, they didn't, Crohn's disease and a gluten-free diet, they weren't necessarily hand in hand. And now they are, that a lot of people with Crohn's can get some relief. So, anyway, that's also been part of what inspires us to keep baking every day is watching our loved ones that have suffered and say, you know what, you are welcome at this table, and you don't have to think about it because we've done the thinking for you, and we've all the steps we can to create a dedicated, safe environment that is even safe enough that we're on the patient room service menu at our local hospital. We care that much.
Yeah, I love that. I remember learning because it's Munson, right? Yeah. When that Munson, and when I saw that, I'm like, that's so awesome. Like I wish Flint hospitals had Third Coast Bakery. I mean, not that I've been in the hospital anytime recently, knock on wood, but it would have been great to have Third Coast stuff here. But I know for a fact that not every hospital is like that. And actually, we talked, I don't know if you saw earlier this week on Monday, we talked to Amy Keller. She's a registered dietitian at a hospital in Ohio. And she's kind of made it her mission to make sure that not only is, yes, you can have a safe chicken breast, but let's go a little bit beyond that because you're still a patient and you're a person wanting to get healthy. And so,
the room service coordinator at Munson Hospital came to me and said, people are here under really difficult circumstances. When you're in a hospital bed, you are not at your best.
Right.
And if something as simple as a cookie or a brownie can help you feel seen and cared for, then that's our responsibility as a hospital. And I said, let's do it.
So I know one person asked on my Facebook page today, because not everybody on Facebook comes to my Instagram. Her question was, how do you accommodate multiple food allergens in the same house? I said for myself, like my husband can't have pork or shellfish. It's not a true allergy, but it makes him, pretty sick. And, so I don't eat pork and shellfish out of care for him, and he doesn't eat gluten out of care for me. So my easy answer would be, well, don't have any of it in the house. But that's not always obviously possible. And I do know that you take special orders. Not everything you make is sugar-free. And not most of the stuff you make is egg-free, but not always. But you're willing to take that challenge. So what are your tips on doing that, on cooking for multiple people that are different at the same time, I guess?
Sure. It's an important question. It's absolutely an important question. And if eliminating the allergen-containing ingredients or products from your kitchen entirely isn't an option, you have to figure out how to juggle that.
Right.
We regularly use peanut ingredients at the bakery. use eggs,
Mm-hmm.
corn products. They're present in the facility. And I think the first step is doing some research, being a part of this today and learning how to safely do it. I think for us, what we do is we create zones in our where certain ingredients live that are allergens. And so let's say you've got a multi-shelf food pantry.
Right.
And you have someone in your house with a tree nut allergy. That contains tree nuts should be on the bottom shelf. Because if that container tips over and spills, it will not fall on any other food underneath. Okay?
Excellent point.
We have a tree nut zone, and it's the bottom shelf. We have peanut cupboard. In fact, we have a dedicated peanut cupboard on purpose because peanuts are such a strong, prevalent food allergy. And we keep that separate and closed off away from any other material so that it doesn't come into any potential cross contact. Same thing with eggs. In your refrigerator, you have somebody that has an egg allergy. Those eggs should be on the very bottom shelf of the refrigerator. And if you to put them in the vegetable drawer instead so that egg doesn't accidentally crack, leak onto your fresh fruits and vegetables.
That is an excellent idea. That's a good idea. I never thought to put them, we can have eggs. We don't have egg allergies, but to put them in the vegetable drawer, that's a great idea.
Yeah, you just label it eggs, a little chicken. The other thing is having dedicated cooking aprons. Okay, so an apron helps to protect your clothing and prevents you from transmitting an ingredient from your clothes to the next thing that you cook. You may not even think about it. Maybe you just whipped up something that had tree nuts in it and you don't realize that when you were chopping nuts, you got some fine nut powder on your blouse or on your scarf. And then you go and you pick up a tray of something else to give it to your child that has nut allergies. You may have just inadvertently put some trace nuts on their food. You don't know. So if you're wearing an apron while you cook or prepare food and then take it off and put on a clean apron before you prepare the next thing, that can make a huge difference. That's something that we practice at the bakery all the time. So if we have a customer that has a specific allergy, we isolate the work area. We go through a 3-step process I'll explain in a minute about how to remove any potential trace allergens. We thoroughly wash our hands, especially underneath your fingernails, all the way up to those, and we put on a clean apron. Scratch, clean apron. And we've washed all of our utensils as well, and then we bake that right then and there. So we really try to isolate it. We also have a dedicated oven for peanut products. It's not always possible to have a dedicated oven. Not every house can have more than one oven. We have 4. But if you can, that's fantastic, so a dedicated workspace, a clean apron, keeping your ingredients on dedicated shelves, that can really help. And then the last thing that we do is a wash, rinse, sanitize process. And that is so important to understand that food allergens are not germs.
Right, exactly.
And soap is not enough. So what we've been trained to do in our allergen-safe food production training, and we are certified in this, is wash, rinse, sanitize. Hot, soapy water with Blue Dawn breaks down the protein that is the allergen. So we all know gluten is a protein found in wheat, barley, rye, oats, that processed on the same equipment, right? So you get that soapy water and you soap that work area. The soap breaks down the protein, but it doesn't get rid of it entirely. So then you have to take a fresh rag in fresh rinse water. Don't use the same fresh rinse water and wipe it down. Wipe the water off. That will completely remove traces of the allergen. And then in a food service facility, we also then do a 3rd step of using sanitizer that helps to kill any lingering viruses or bacteria or anything like that. But at home kitchen, bowl of soapy water with one rag, bowl of clean rinse water with another rag, that goes a long way.
It's a great tip. I know, because, not everybody can do what my husband and I do. Like, it's just the two of us. We don't have kids. And so, obviously I'm not going to cook separate meals for him than I do for myself. We just eat the same thing. But I know that's not always possible in every family, because if you have like 7 or 8 kids and gluten-free or additional dietary restriction foods, replacements are expensive. So I really appreciate how you explained all that. So maybe we have families that are watching, they're like, oh, hi, how do I do this? Or I've had people just recently diagnosed that have reached out to me. And even in this time of coronavirus, people still have lives to lead and get diagnoses they need to struggle with. So
yeah, it's also helpful to have maybe a dedicated shelf in the refrigerator for your gluten-free foods, for example, or your dairy-free foods. And usually that can be the top shelf, or it's the top section on the refrigerator door. And that's any other cross contact with anything in the room, right? Or then you don't accidentally grab the wrong pancake syrup, the wrong ketchup bottle, the wrong salad dressing, right?
Right.
Grab yours. Then we also suggest dedicated cutting boards, dedicated knives, and you can get them in a really bright, noticeable color. A lot, and that and why not make it fun? So you make a child that has a food allergy, turn it into something fun and let them pick out the color. So maybe if mommy is using the purple cutting board with the purple knife, that's for them, and it's going to be safe, because children are visual that way. And feel so marginalized, right? Yeah.
And it's interesting, and maybe that's why you said that, but I know that there's a company that specifically makes food allergy stuff with purple handles, because like Western Michigan University has a whole separate allergen-free kitchen, and like everything there has purple cutting boards and purple handles, and because there's some commercial company that sells them that way. And so I know they've had them at we're moving our gluten-free camp to Camp Koepniconic in Fenton, and they have a lot of that same purple handled stuff. But that's a really great point. Maybe your kid's favorite color is pink. I don't know. So whatever works for your family. That's a really great idea.
If you go on Amazon, you could find pink and purple zebra stripe if you want.
So true. You can find just about anything out there these days. And when I don't know if you ever get a chance, or if they'd even be beneficial to you. I was supposed to go this year and it was canceled again because of coronavirus. There's the Houseware show that happens in Chicago. And so there's all sorts of kitchen gadgets and bakeware, and like Nordic Ware has a whole booth, and every imaginable bunt pan you could ever imagine. Like, they have them on display, and you can check out the newest stuff and stoves and all that.
I could spend some serious money there. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. And you learn about, like, Wilton is there, and you find out about their sprinkle line and all their other stuff. So it's fun to be at. Road trip. We could do a road trip.
Yeah, it's usually, it would have been in March, beginning of March usually. So I got to put my glasses on. Someone asked a question. Cross-contamination is serious. It's somebody. Yes. There's a company that's saying that. So, and they said it in Spanish too. So
yeah. In fact, what I was going to suggest as well, one area that's often overlooked in a home kitchen is oven mitts. How actually wash your oven mitts?
I can't remember the last time I did.
Yeah.
For real. Probably gross.
Only slightly, but that's just between you and me, right, Margaret?
Right.
Listening at all.
Right.
But truly, oven mitts, if you aren't regularly washing your oven mitts and you just toss it back in the drawer and then you go to bake for someone or cook for someone that has that food allergy, I guarantee you that you're contaminating their food. So yeah, wash your oven mitts, or have a dedicated set of oven mitts that are stored in a different drawer or on its own little magnetic clip on the side of the refrigerator. We have them. They're silicone, they're bright red, and those are for products only.
Right. And bright red for caution. Like, don't touch these unless you know exactly what you're touching them for.
Exactly. And they have their own dedicated clip. They have their own little home. So helpful. Those are things we practice regularly at the bakery that allow us to, multiple customers safely.
Right. So tell us about some of the things you do have at your bakery. I have your shirt on too when you had the Kickstarter and we came up and you were for my birthday. It was right around my birthday.
Yeah.
So so I actually think this is the first time I've worn it. I'm like, oh, I have it in the closet. I should wear it in honor of Heather today. So
appreciate that. Looks good.
You're welcome. So tell people some of the things that you do offer at your bakery.
Sure. Well, everything we make is 100% gluten-free, dairy, and soy-free. We don't even let store an employee lunch. It's number one. So, and then 99% of our menu is also egg-free and vegan. We have to use the egg to get the best gluten-free texture. Then that's what we will do. Like sandwich bread and our long johns, so good. Rely heavily on eggs, and we will not sacrifice the gluten-free quality to remove the eggs. We regularly practice with egg replacers that to try to get the best results, and when we can get those, then we'll put the product on the market. So we have a savory line, like our new take and bake pizza crusts, breadsticks, cinnamon rolls, dinner rolls, sandwich bread, granola, croutons. And then pastries like donuts and cookies and muffins, sandwich cookies, scones. We also do wedding cakes, lots of wedding cakes. And that's a fun part of my job, too, besides, getting into the frosting. I love to go to the wedding venues and set up the cakes and flowers. And that's really
I don't remember seeing your Instagram, like you did the one on Mackinac Island and the whole story, saga of transporting it was so interesting to watch.
Yeah. We will go to the ends of the earth to get you your cake. And if that means by land, by boat, and then buggy, we will get there.
Right.
Yeah.
Sorry. Peninsula Explorer Samuel Long Johns are amazing.
Oh, she might be kind of a local expert because we might kind of see her sometimes.
Right. She and I were talking on Instagram, like she was talking about how great you were, and there's a cider company that she likes, and I now follow them because she followed them. So I'm always looking for other Michigan brands to follow that, I'm a big fan of. I don't like beer I never liked beer even before my celiac disease diagnosis. So I like things sweet, like sweet wine and hard cider, which I rarely ever drink, to be honest. But it's fun to learn about new places, especially in northern Michigan, because we kind of have there's a place in Metamora not far from me. There's a gluten-free bakery, and then there's some stuff in Lansing, and then Grand Rapids, and then kind of between Lansing and Traverse City, there's one person that does like farmers market stuff, but there's really not a whole lot. But you leave Lansing, and then they have to come to you after that.
Yeah, which right now because of the Stay Home, Stay Safe executive order, we change how we do business, but never ever occurred to us to close our doors. That's not an option because we know how much our customers rely on us just for day-to-day essentials, and that's what we're here for. So for people that usually make that trip up to Traverse City and stock up, and we have launched a really effective online ordering system, and we ship everything UPS second day air, even in Michigan, because the post office is really struggling. It's major slowdowns.
They lost my stamps for like a month. I ordered stamps and I lost them at the Detroit post office because they don't come from your local post office. They come from Kansas City, Missouri, and then they ship them to you. So
wow.
Yeah. So yeah.
Well, so yeah, we've run into some struggles as well with the local post office. So instead, what we're doing is shipping at no extra cost to the customer. We've upgraded to UPS second day air. And you can order on our website, thirdcoastbakery.com. And we ship out every Monday, so orders stay fresh. And you can order pantry staples, even like our bread or the granola. So, yeah.
That's great. Not the Long Johns, though. Oh, John is like, in a cave, your stamps came from, she lives in Kansas City, Missouri. That's why. She's like, your stamps came from a fulfillment center in a cave in Kansas City. Actually, Jana's really awesome. She's a gluten-free blogger, but her main job is she's a balloon artist. Like, builds like the huge balloon arches and like balloonscapes. She's amazing. And luckily they were just able to finally go back and start doing like lawn installations for people because it was not essential. But yeah, Jana, she just amazes me with what she pulls off. She's awesome. So I love her as a gluten-free blogger, but I'm in awe. Like, just like when I love at your bakery, like how you have the clear window so you can watch people decorate cakes. I can just sit and watch that all day long. It's fun.
We were looking at the layout of the bakery and planning that. I remember when I was growing up, there was a bakery, and if you go in the back door, you could watch the bakers make the donuts and make the bread, and we'd stand on our tiptoes and peer over the counter and try to see what he was doing, and it was the coolest experience. And I thought, you know what, this bakery has to have that, because even little ones should be welcome and be able to stand on their tiptoes, watch their birthday cakes being frosted, or run right up to the glass display case, and it would be, the display case would start at eye level for even the littlest customers. Yeah, we want it to be very visible. There's nothing that we're trying to hide. Yeah, and it's fun.
That's so very thoughtful. I mean, I love, because yeah, if anyone's never been there, it's like the production room was like almost complete glass except for that one obvious wall, but like there's big windows and all around, so it's you don't even have to come into the bakery to watch them through the windows. You can stand outside and just gawk.
Yeah, exactly. And then our main production kitchen, which we do have to keep closed off from the public to ensure that there is no adulteration of ingredients. We take
right.
But there is a door that is full of glass. You can just stand there and watch the bakers, kind of
That's
like in the zoo. Yeah, that's really fun.
Well, I don't know if anybody else has any other questions or if there's anything else you'd like to add, or if anything unique stories that you'd like to tell us about your bakery or your own personal journey of changing your diet. It's Friday and my brain's dead, I'm going to be honest.
Oh,
so
no,
I'm like,
I think it's important to keep the conversation going about celiac disease. It's National Celiac Awareness Month, and I have to tell you that as a business owner who regularly advocates for those with celiac disease, that it really frustrates and breaks my heart when I hear jokes about it, or that people
right.
are they just don't take it seriously, or they walk in and they go, "Oh, gluten free. I like extra gluten in mine," and then they leave. Like,
I hate that.
wah, wah. That. Yeah. So keep it, Margaret. I'm just really grateful to you for keeping the conversation going, because it's essential, and we want people to feel seen and heard and loved and included, and not marginalized. And that's what we're here for. I see you do that all the time. So we're very grateful to you for being the voice of gluten-free in our state of Michigan.
Aw, thanks. I'm thankful for what you do. So
heart shape, but I'm holding the phone, so you get a half heart.
Right. I have a little stand that I bought for $5. I doubt you have them in Traverse City, but it's called like 5 and Below, and like everything's $5 or under. There's this little tchotchke like stand that you put your phone on. So
yeah. No, I really are doing this on Instagram that it have a wiggly video feed. Yeah. Yeah. So as far as any other stories to share, we're just, I'm kind of drawing a blank too, I guess.
Yeah, that's okay. Well, I thank you for your time, and I will download this on my computer and I will upload it to YouTube. So these will all live there, and I'm going to create a blog post with all these, because I'm doing this 3 days. Well, this week it's been 4. Next week it'll be 4. Because next week we're going to add Jules Shepard. I'm not sure if you're familiar with GF Jules.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's so sweet. And then, but like next week, in addition to this being Celiac Disease Awareness Month, next week is Food Allergy Awareness Week. So I'm going to be talking to some food allergy experts next week and kind of talk about how those compare. But definitely we'll be downloading all these, so people that aren't on Facebook, aren't on Instagram or whatever can get them later, and I'll make sure to link to your website so people can find your products. So, and hopefully someday we will get back up there soon.
That will come to you through the mail. And I just want to end with a note of encouragement for anyone who's joining in that just feels super overwhelmed and discouraged. just take it one step at a time. Just one step at a time, and ask questions. And if you're not sure how to handle it, we're here for you as a resource. Give us a call. We're more than happy to share. We've got 7 years of experience and mistakes and learning curves. It's okay to say, I don't know how to do this. And you've got great resources with Margaret right here. You've got resources with us at Third Coast Bakery. We're on your side, and we're happy to help you. Always give us a call or contact us through our website.
Awesome. Thank you. And then we got away from Drink Bloom. If you're ever in Ann Arbor, they make mead. And all their snacks and stuff are gluten-free because one of their owners cannot eat gluten. So they're really great. And they do like yoga on Sundays inside their brewery. It's kind of a cool place. So I've been thankful. They're always good at following me and saying hi and stuff. So again, thank you. And you just have a great weekend. And kudos to all your workers. I love the pictures you put on Instagram of like all of the boxes. And I'm sure they're just working their tails off. So sorry, I don't have my glasses. So like when I see questions, I have to scroll in and I'm like, I can't. Oh, Drink Bloom says they love Third Coast. So they must have ordered your stuff before. So everyone's saying how much they love you. So, and because you're great. You're great. So
thank you.
Well, you have a great weekend, and we will chat with you on the other side, all right? And you guys stay strong.
All right. Bye, everybody. Thank you.
Bye.